Digital disruption in recruitment. I know it sounds pretty dramatic, and I actually want to talk more about digital engagement and taking part in a conversation that already happens with an audience that's relevant for you and you for them, which social media and social recruitment is all about. But given these days, with all the information that we're constantly getting bombarded with, our attention span is shorter than ever before. In fact, it is shorter now than a goldfish. So I thought I'd better stick to digital disruption and get your attention for the next 4.5 minutes. There's no doubt that technology is changing the way we work, live, act, and interact. And with that, businesses changing, who then need different skill sets to make those businesses successful. And yes, we also see traditional jobs are disappearing, especially the ones that can be automated, that don't require any human traits like creativity or emotions. But there's also opportunities for those who embrace it. Most important to realize is that it's not the technology as such that's the real disruptor. It's being not customer-centric and moving fast enough with the consumer changes that's the real threat to any business. And this is exactly where the rubber hits the road. Generation X and beyond are the most educated generation ever. In fact, everything they want to know is just a swipe or a click away. And they also want to know more about you. And because they are the future of any company, you want to get them on board because they can make or break the success of your business. The only disruption that we've seen in the last 20 or so years in recruitment, however, is job ads are now published online. Well, the thing is, we don't live our lives in bullet points. We live our lives in stories and images. Because looking at those beautiful images is what creates emotions. And when emotions are triggered, dopamine is released to the blood, to the brain, which then causes this good feeling about something or somebody. And this is what makes stories stick. While looking at those traditional job descriptions, however, doesn't evoke anything. It doesn't give us those beautiful feeling or any action that we actually do something about it. And the question is why it is so important to react differently? Because we are competing with more for less. In fact, more people will exit full-time work rather than enter. And we can't even just bribe talents to stay with the company because they say 70% say they want to have a good work environment compared to a high salary. And looking at Generation Z, who will have on average 17 jobs, go through 5 different careers in their life and live in 15 homes, they're more mobile, coupled with the fact that we will see a shortfall of 40 million skilled workers. That's why it's time to think, act, and interact differently if you want to attract, engage, and retain the best talents. The question is, how? Well, Instagram is the fastest growing social media platform. And, sorry, I forgot something. The recruitment process goes through exactly the same phases like a purchase decision. So we need to start thinking like a marketer and want to move those talents throughout the channels. And what we want to do is we want to get this big pool of talent who are unengaged and unaware of our brand into a smaller group of qualified leads who not only can do the job but can also resonate with our values. And the question is, how are we doing this? Well, people trust people. And there's nothing more powerful than a personal recommendation to somebody. And what evokes those trust? Well, relationships and finding something in common. And while people trust people, they don't trust them straight away either. Especially the recruitment process is a fairly long process, and depending on where you are in the stage of this process, you want to access different information from different people on different channels. And this is why it's so important to constantly engage with your future talent. With Instagram being the fastest growing social media platform because of those beautiful pictures, which evokes emotions, and also pictures are much easier to digest than text. In fact, 60,000 times faster. They don't want to be told, they want to be shown. And how you can get started is ask your staff, especially those high flyers that you want to attract more of. What's their story? What's their motivations? What's their aspirations? And how can you make their job part of their lifestyle, which the younger generation is all about? And then give them the tools to share the story on platforms and with training that they can feel comfortable with it and attract those high flyers that you want to get into your business. The most important thing, however, is that the social strategy needs to be in line with the bigger picture. It needs to be part of the business strategy, and it needs to come down from the top. And it needs to be pretty, like uber pretty, with a cherry on top. So it is your decision to either disrupt or be disrupted. Thank you very much.